Hey, how's it going? It's Hunter, back with another video. I did say I was going to be yapping more, so here we are. I've got some Halo back in the background. I've been enjoying this game, just kind of been hopping back on it. I got a pretty good gameplay here. You will be seeing other games played in the background of my videos. I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders and Battlefield 6, so I have plenty of footage of that. You'll always see at least something entertaining going on. I'm a pretty competitive person, so I'm saying I sweat at video games. So if something's in the background, I'm either fucking trying my ass off and getting a pretty good gameplay, or at least something fun's happening in the background. I'm not gonna Subway Surfer you with some brain dead gameplay, uh, but it's not really the whole point of the video. It's mainly whatever I'm choosing to yap about, which in this video is something that I kind of mentioned in my last video. But before I get into that, I just want to say thank you to everyone who watched and liked and commented on the last video. That video got to more people than I thought it would, and I'm glad it did. That was kind of the whole point of the video, was to just express my thoughts on something that I had just recently done, and how I kind of correlated that to being patient with yourself. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely go watch it. I'm glad it reached the people it needed to, and I'm glad I did it, because it definitely helped me kind of reiterate it to myself. So thank you for that. I mentioned something at the end of the last video that I definitely edited out, and I think I went to go piss, or I went to go do something, and I came back and Control Z'd it back in. I definitely thought it was too personal, I think at first, but on a little bit more thought, even just stepping away and walking away, I was like, no, this was something that popped up while I was just kind of rambling, and I think it definitely helped push my point a little bit, and I think I realized right then that I could make a whole video about quitting on yourself, and how I've had, at least for me, I realized that I had a lot of opportunities to quit on myself, and how that had become a habit or a cycle that I needed to get out of and change, which is more or less what this is all about, just kind of my personal experience with that. And I'm not going to sit here and, oh, I'm never going to quit on myself again. I'm so bummed. No, I'm not going to. Dude, we all struggle with it. It's always going to be there. It's always a choice. I think becoming aware of it is the first step, but I will say very quickly, there are some things you definitely do need to probably fucking get out of. Bad relationship, bad job, anything that is fucking with you personally. But that comes with a whole lot more of self-reflection and looking for the actual reason you're quitting. Are you truly wanting to quit, or are you just wanting to quit because it's difficult? Obviously, if you're in a relationship and it's not good, or you're in a job that fucking abuses you, definitely get out of that situation. But this is more about, the doing the hard things and starting new things and sticking with them. So with that being said, breaking the cycle. First thing that comes to mind for me when I think about quitting on myself, or yourself, or however I'll end up titling this, is a sense of identity, which was only learned after the fact. Like I had mentioned, I had been given a lot of opportunities to quit, so much so that I think it became a habit. It became the default in certain situations, where once a honeymoon stage with something was over and things got a little tough, my gut reaction was to move on to the next thing that excited me. It wasn't until I had really stopped and thought about bettering myself, and really just genuinely sitting down with myself and being like, oh, I've quit so many damn things so many damn times. I got to do something about this. So I think the first thing that needs to happen is you really sit down with yourself and become aware of it, become aware of the things that you quit, become aware of maybe the reasons why. And if you can do that, then you're probably already ahead of most people. I know a lot of people go through life and do not feel shame and do not feel these other things. So if you are genuinely trying to better yourself, know you are already ahead of the crowd. You're definitely ahead of the curve. Quitting doesn't reset the clock by any means. I think any progress is progress. The small, large, doesn't matter. When you're in the thick of it, realizing that you're wanting to quit is where 98% of people quit. Like, it's obviously something new is fun and exciting, and everyone has been right there that has done that exact same thing. Restarting definitely hurts more than continuing, I would say. Coming back to something that you stepped away from and realizing that if you would have just stuck with it for the month, the 2 months, the half a year, the years that you stopped it, realizing how much farther you could be, that disappointment, I think, hurts more than anything. In just in the moment, trying to relieve the pressure that you put on yourself for it. I know that was kind of something that I dealt with, where I would quit something, but I had such high expectations for myself when I did quit. It almost felt like I was quitting and I had already reached this level with how I had hyped up this thing, and I had like daydreamed about getting to this point, and then I quit. So, and it just kind of felt like to me that I was quitting from a higher point than I was. So I would even put more disappointment on myself, and there's no one more hard on yourself than yourself, or at least that is how for me. You know, I definitely am my worst critic, and building that trust with myself was definitely the most important thing, which is why I picked up the running. It was something that I could sit down and track, and I just knew if I stuck with it. I mean, it was something I was doing Monday through Friday, even though it was just a mile or two a day, something that I could like recover from and do continuously. It was something that I could track and feel the win from every single day, because I had lost the trust of myself from all the quitting I had done. And that's something that you have to get back. You genuinely have to be able to trust yourself and do difficult things, so when you encounter difficult things, you can look back and be like, oh, I did that shit, I can easily do this shit, and I can do whatever the next shit is in front of me. That's confidence. And that's what happens when you keep promises to yourself. If you were in a situation like I was before I started the running, where I felt like I couldn't keep my promises, I couldn't trust myself, would you trust an employee that you were managing who was constantly late and said that they were going to be there and they never were every single time, or they would be for a little while and then start being late again? It's that exact same thing. Like, zoom out and treat yourself like a third party. Would you hire yourself, or would you trust yourself? And if you've just continuously been lied to, I think that definitely it tricks your mind. There's definitely some fucking research about that shit. I'll definitely indulge later, but that's just like how my mind views it now, where keeping those promises to yourself is 100% the most important thing to moving on to doing more difficult things, or just feeling confident in yourself when you're starting something new. Everyone's shit at everything when they first start, and it's usually not until a little bit into it that it gets difficult, where most people never continue, and that's just where you have to kind of put your head down and grind a little bit. It's really your future self that'll be thanking you when I'm mentioning all this. Like, the day before the marathon, the half marathon, I didn't do shit. I didn't do shit leading up to that week, but I knew I was prepared for it because I had 5 to 6 months of true hard fucking evidence to myself to back it. The person I'm thankful for is myself 6 months ago who decided to do it. And that's how it's going to be for everything. Who knows? It could even be for these YouTube videos, that me in a couple months is glad that I sat down one day and made that last video, or made this one, or made any of them. It's your future self that's watching you, and then you just kind of have to remember that and keep it in mind when you're doing things. I say all this because I think momentum can get you going, and I think it's really important to build enough confidence and evidence in yourself that you feel this momentum. But you have to remember that motivation was never the plan. It was never the goal. It was never the thing that you were trying to strive for. You were always trying to reach this level or this thing or obtain this thing or to be able to do this thing, whatever that is for you. And just a little bit of momentum can get you going, but it is your consistency and your reason why you're wanting to do it has to be strong enough to push you through those days. I try to tell myself you don't need a breakthrough, you just need one more day. That was something I said a lot to myself at the start when I was running and first kind of getting into it. And it's something that I think I'll tell myself anytime I'm embarking on something new, because I think there's a lot in it. It was just a quote I saw somewhere, but it still kind of stuck with me, because it all just does come down to the yes to the situation and not the no when that voice kind of creeps in your head to stop running or to stop doing this or to stop doing that doubtful sense that you'll get to yourself. I think it just means more when you trust yourself with it. Like that statement becomes easier as you go, because you have it. You're like, oh, okay, no one's got my back, I've got my back. And that is so powerful. It is for me, at least, knowing that I can, or at least I have. You know, it may really only be this one thing that's kind of sparked this in me. Even though I've been trying to make better strides for myself in the last 2 years, and I definitely think I have. This was something that was really powerful. And it you know, me 6 months ago was having all these thoughts, and it was only kind of just writing them down. But me now in the future can kind of take away from it, and I don't know, try my best. I think that's all we're trying to do. So if you're in any sort of situation like this, or you have, you know, these deep thoughts about it, stick with it. I hope something from this video is kind of stuck. It's kind of maybe hit something within you. If you are in a situation, to stick with it and keep pushing forward. And I promise you, your future self will thank you if you do it. And I'm excited for whatever my next thing is, because I'm gonna continue to do my best to keep this mentality and keep this up and make it my identity. You know, make doing tough things a part of me and not just something I do. It's like, no, like I want to be known as a person who it's like, oh no, you know, Hunter said he's got it. That's kind of how I look at it, and how I want to be known. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you listening to me yap. These were just some thoughts I was having after making that last video. So hopefully my point kind of got across. Again, I'm kind of just doing these videos for myself. I am literally talking to myself, so I guess they are definitely my inner thoughts about it, just kind of coming forward and pep talking myself. So hopefully you're able to kind of get something from it. Again, appreciate you for listening. If you kind of want to be here for that, definitely leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any suggestions, or if you know, I'm still new to this, making videos, so if there's anything you think that can be constructive criticism, definitely leave it in the comments for me. Or if there's anything that you'd kind of want me to poke my mind about, to make a video about, if you're having any specific problems. I know sometimes just hearing someone else talk about something, or just someone else's point of view, can definitely help. So if you have any ideas for a subject to talk about, I could definitely do some research, or just even look back into my own personal experience and kind of maybe just give a third party, you know, 10-15 minute yap session. So hopefully you have a good day, good morning, or good night whenever you're hearing this. And yeah, peace.